Hello everybody, happy Halloween, one of my favorite segments here on my channel, Pokemon that we need to see in Unite. These all come from the Wishes and Theories section on my Discord. Big shout out to Barley Oats for helping me put this together. Let's take a look at these Halloween themed Pokemon. Yeehaw to you and yours. In this video, we're going to take a look at user submitted Pokemon that could be in the game. The thing I love about this is we always see sort of themes around characters that would be in MOBAs, and of course a lot of cool Pokemon that could easily be in the game, and some have actually, not only the Pokemon have made it into the game, but also sort of play styles have made it into the game. It's really fun to check this out. Let's start with Gourgeist right here. All right, it's a supporter class Pokemon. It looks like its difficulty is 3 stars. It's got 20% critical hit and 40% life steal. Hello. Okay, let's take a look at this. The basic attacks here: swings Ghost Claws on its head at the enemy, dealing damage to the enemy. The boosted attack scopes the enemy with its, is that scopes or scoops? With its 2 Ghost Claws and stuns them while pulling them a bit closer. Oh my gosh, that's so mean. It's got to be scoops, right? Let's see. Insomnia is its passive. Enemies cannot inflict status conditions on your allies as long as you're in sight of your allies. Oh my god. You also, the user does more damage to the enemy looking into the user's eyes. This is just so crazy. This could be so fun. Okay, it's 2 starting moves. We got Bullet Seed and we've got Scary Face. Scary Face. These attacks will hit in a wide cone in front of the user. Where it's casted, it will push the enemy back if they're making eye contact with the user. Oh man, so much positioning around this Pokemon. This is so fun. If the user gets a hit on an enemy from behind, it will lower the enemy's speed. And then Bullet Seed, in a short area of effect, will let out a barrage of siege, dealing damage. If these moves KO an enemy, half of the damage dealt will give you a shield. Ooh, all right. This is a supporter in the way Mime's a supporter, right? Like, just in crazy damage here. We start with either upgrading to Trick or Leech Seed. I'm surprised we don't have sort of like a more Leech Seed type Pokemon in the game. I always felt like that was a big thing in the early games, is Leech Seeding, right? The user, this is Trick. The user and 1 ally will get attack speed and a speed buff along with a shield. If you cast these on you and an enemy, it will lower the enemy's attack and speed for a short time. Okay, so it's a trick that you could cast on either one. That's kind of cool. The effect lasts longer, will gain a bigger shield on upgrade. The Leech Seed, the user will shoot out some seeds into an area. Enemies cannot see these. Okay, so it works like Duraludon Stealth Rock. Until they step into it, stunning them a bit. The less amount of HP the enemy has, the longer they're stunned. Ooh. Ooh, that could be so mean. And all damage done will heal the user. You can stack up to 3 Leech Seeds in reserve, and the attacks do increase damage upon level up. I kind of love the increased stun on lower health because it really sets up some mean stuff. And then we've got either Trick or Treat or Seed Bomb. Trick or Treat. The user will link with an ally with these moves and will let the user and ally gain a massive speed buff. It will heal over time. If these links is made with the user and an enemy, the user gets a massive speed buff and the enemy gets speed lowered for a bit. Also, the enemy will deal increased damage if the user and the enemy are still linked. The link will last as long as possible if the user and enemy stay close to each other. Ooh, interesting. Okay. And then the Seed Bomb. The user will release 5 big seeds in a forward motion. If an enemy gets hit by these, they will explode, dealing massive damage. These moves will also be able to bounce off walls. Ooh. Their range and speed is increased bouncing off walls. Wow, this would be so fun. Okay, and then let's take a look at its Unite move. The user will let out a big flash from a dark light in an area around it, dealing massive damage to the enemy's hit, and these moves will also stun and blind the enemies. If allies get hit with these dark light, the range will increase and will be granted life steal from all attacks, but unites for a short time. Oh, okay, so you give all your allies a buff with this as well. The only thing I would like to see more on this, I kind of love the positioning of if the enemy's facing you. I would love if its Unite move had something to do with that too. Thank you so much, Luna-san, for this submission. This is very cool. Let's take a look here at Spiritomb, a supporter debilitator here. Expert level difficulty on this Pokemon. It has cooldown reduction at 20% when it's fully leveled up here. And of course, Spiritomb does not evolve. Let's take a look at its basic attack. The user sends forward a wisp that deals damage and applies a stack of seal. Once the seal is fully completed at 5 stacks, the user fires a burst of wisps forward, dealing increased damage and putting both of the opposing Pokemon's moves on cooldown. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. It's going to be one of these. Pressure. Opposing Pokemon that use a move within a set distance of Spiritomb have 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. Have 2 seconds added to their cooldown. This kind of Pokemon is a nightmare. Like this enemy on the enemy team, you're like, no! They're a nightmare to deal with. Okay, it's 2 starting moves, Spite and Taunt. The user sends negative energy, this is Spite, forward in the form of a shadow, dealing damage and randomly putting one of the target's moves on cooldown. Oh my gosh, Taunt. The user taunts a nearby Pokemon with a nasty look, drawing all attention. Affected Pokemon cannot target or aim anywhere else except the user. Gosh, this would be so frustrating to deal with. Okay. You upgrade Spite to either Curse or Grudge. Curse, the user causes the target curses the target, lowering its defense and special defense temporarily, dealing damage every 0.5 seconds for 3 seconds. If an opposing Pokemon takes all 6 ticks of damage, the user is healed. Now we have Grudge. It's a hindrance. The user holds a devastating grudge against anyone who inflicts damage upon it, afflicting them with a stack of seal every time it takes damage. If a Pokemon becomes bound by this effect, the user gains a shield. Wow. Okay. I mean, okay, cool. The user gains additional defense and special defense for the duration at level 10. I think I'd like to play Grudge, honestly. I would love that. And then Taunt either becomes Embargo or Nasty Plot. Embargo, the user fires spectral chains in the designated direction. If an opposing Pokemon is caught, it is damaged and bound momentarily. Affected Pokemon have their held items and battle items disabled? Temporarily, but what? Oh man, imagine disabling a focus band. Buddy barrier, I mean so many things. Nasty Plot. The user conjures up wicked thoughts, empowering its basic attacks to become faster and deal more damage. Whenever the user seals a Pokemon, it gains a stack of Malice, increasing its special attack. Level 12, its upgrade here, gains a stack of Malice each time it inflicts damage with a basic attack. Oh my gosh. Wow. There are characters like that in a lot of MOBAs, so this makes sense, but wow. The Unite move, Darkness Grace. Level 8, you get this. The user becomes immobile and releases all 108 of its spirits, gaining unstoppable and creating a whirlpool of malicious energy that draws in opposing Pokemon in a wide area, slowly dealing damage. Opposing Pokemon that are pulled in to the middle are stunned temporarily. Affected opposing Pokemon cannot use movement abilities. Spiritomb receives half damage until it faints or is finished. Whoa. Very cool, very cool. Thank you very much, Barley Oats. Here we have a Pokemon that was rumored to be in the game a very long time ago. Like, it was in the game files that this Pokemon was in there. They were testing it out. I don't know what happened to Marshadow. I don't know if somehow they decided Sableye was more popular and similar. I truly no clue. They could still be working on it, but we've got Marshadow here from Sliced Bread. Let's take a look. It's basic attack. This is a speedster, by the way. Difficulty expert. It is melee with critical hit at 10%, lifesteal at 15%. Every third attack is a boosted attack, dealing increased damage. If these boosted attacks hit from behind the target, the damage dealt is increased further, and the user's movement speed is increased for a short time. And its passive is Technician. After the user knocks out an opposing Pokemon, it becomes invisible for 3 seconds. While invisible, it has the option to turn into a shadow form of the Pokemon knocked out. Copying its stats, moves, abilities, held items, the user reverts to its normal form after it activates this ability again or is knocked out. The ability is not a disguise. The enemy team can easily see the shadow form of Marshadow. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, that's very cool. All right, let's take a look. Shadow Punch and Copycat are what you start with. Shadow Punch, you punch with a Spectral Fist, damaging any opposing Pokemon it hits. It's also a dash. And then Copycat, the user gains a weakened version of the effects of the selected player's Pokemon's battle item. Oh, and you can use it on a quick cooldown, like a quick X speed, a quick potion. That would be really interesting. Okay. Shadow Punch either becomes Drain Punch or Shadow Sneak. Drain Punch, you dash forward, healing itself and damaging any enemy it hits. Using this move empowers the next use of Poltergeist, including any move it has cloned, or Spectral Thief to deal increased damage. 3 charges of this move can be kept in reserve. Okay, so this is going to power up your secondary ability here. And then Shadow Sneak, the user conceals itself in the shadows, increasing movement speed, entering stealth for 6 seconds or until attacking. While the user is invisible, the next basic attack becomes boosted, deals increased damage. If the move or basic attack removes stealth, knocks out a Pokemon, the move's cooldown is reset. Oh my gosh, how mean. It's just bouncing around like KOing everybody. Poltergeist or Spectral Thief, upgrade from Copycat. Poltergeist. The user dashes to the target Pokemon, damaging and throwing it if it's an enemy. If the target is a player, the move turns into 3 charges of the target's current second move. Oh. These cloned uses of the move deal slightly decreased damage and have their damage scaling altered if they factor special attack. Once all 3 charges are used, the move reverts back to Poltergeist. Whoa. I'm just trying to think of what secondary move, like who am I really trying to grab with this one, right? I mean, Dragonite has Hyper Beam as its second move. That would be crazy. Lucario with close combat, like just 3 close combat. I mean, there are so many options here. Okay. And then Spectral Thief. The user dashes through the shadows, damaging any opposing Pokemon it hits. If any of the Pokemon hit by this move have an active shield or buff, oh my gosh. Okay, the user steals part of it. I was going to say, you're stealing buffs here, but they steal part of a buff. That would be crazy. And then its upgrade at level 13 increases the portion of shields or buffs it steals. That would be so mean. Let's take a look at its Unite move at level 9. Shadow Rush. The user cloaks itself in shadow to turn invisible. While invisible, it can use this move again to dash forward a sizable distance, damaging and throwing any opposing Pokemon it hits. This move deals increased damage to opposing Pokemon with low remaining health. If this move knocks out a Pokemon from the opposing team, the user has 50% of its Unite charge refunded, and its cooldowns are reset. Wow. I mean, that's huge to get your Unite refunded like that. It's just really setting you up to kind of combo like crazy. All right, this is awesome. Marshadow, thank you so much. Sliced bread. Our final Pokemon for this Pokemon we need to see in Unite Halloween Edition is Banette. It's an attacker debilitator here, expert level, ranged Pokemon, 25% critical hit and 20% lifesteal here, evolving at level 6. Its basic attack uses shadowy forces to attack at a distance. Every 4th attack is boosted and increases the basic attack speed for a short time. Its passive Cursed Body fully resets the cooldown of a random move from the attacking opponent, goes on cooldown after being used. Fully resets the cooldown of a random move from the attacking opponent. Wait, I'm confused. It fully resets a random move? Does this mean from being attacked? I'll have to see what this means. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Fully resets the cooldown. Oh, wait. So it puts it on cooldown, like a full cooldown. That makes a lot more sense. My brain is slow, but I'm getting it. All right, let's see. We've got Grudge and Knockoff as the first abilities. Grudge resets the cooldown of opponent's moves. Incredibly mean. I mean, that's incredibly mean. Gosh. Or Knockoff hits the opponent with force. It resets the cooldown timer of the hit opponent's battle item. These Pokemon are so horribly mean. Oh my gosh. All right. Grudge upgrades at level 5 to either Shadow Sneak or Shadow Claw. Shadow Sneak causes the user to become invisible and invincible and increases movement speed during the duration. Deals increased boosted damage once you become invisible again. So you are invincible here. That's crazy. Shadow Claw is a melee dash, creates Shadow Claws to hit the opponent twice with each hand. Each successful hit reduces the cooldown of the move, steals HP with each hit. I mean, both of these are nice. The Shadow Sneak increases crit at level 11. Oh, that might be just too good. If you become invincible briefly during your invisibility, that might be just like you have to pick it, right? Okay, Destiny Bond or Torment upgrades from Knockoff. Destiny Bond, 10 seconds. The target opponent is dealt DOT. If, while the target opponent is affected by this move and KOs the user, the opponent is KO'd as well. The user of the move can see who is linked while it's not so noticeable for others. Oh my gosh. Okay. If, while the opponent is affected and KOs the user. So does it have to be that opponent? Probably, right? The user of the move can see who is linked. All right. Increases dot, decrease spawn time for the user, and slight increase on spawn time for KO'd opponent. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine giving your opponent a longer KO timer? How freaking insane. All right. Torment makes it so the target opposing Pokemon cannot use the same move twice in a row. This is to include secondary attacks from the same move if said move has it. Okay. So there are a lot of moves where, for instance, Zoroark, if you're using Night Slash, Night Slash, you can't do that or something like that. Or, you know, you couldn't use, there are moves that have like a secondary effect. I'm trying to think of an easy one that just pops to the front of my brain here. But you couldn't Dragon Dance a bunch of times in a row for Dragonite. I don't know why I can't think of a move that has a secondary effect, but a lot of them do. You hit with something, and then the next time you hit. This also really messes with Serena. Torment, okay, that's very cool. And then the increase deals damage if opponent can only use basic attack. Okay. And then its Unite move, Puppet Play, uses its ghostly powers to create shadow puppets based on the wild Pokemon on the map to help attack opponents. When a shadow is destroyed, Banette restores HP. What? Oh, wow. Wow, that's such a cool Unite move. This Pokemon is just so wild. I love all these ghost types too. Just so many cool like options that you can bring into the game. Thank you very much, Dr. Alfred Pennyworth. I need to do more of these because they're so freaking fun, and you will see concepts like this inside Pokemon Unite. Let me know which is your favorite in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Happy Halloween, everybody. Yeehaw to you and yours.